Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to share our research with you today. And our work is called Stimulus Modality Matters. And it's all about how different ways of perceiving emotion, like through the sound or visuals, can affect systems that recognize emotion in speech. Also, I want to thank Haibin Wu, Professor Hong Li, and Professor Chijin Li for their contribution to this work. Before we get into the research, let me introduce myself. I'm Huang-Cheng Zhou, and I finished my PhD last year. And during that time, I had a chance to co-work with Dr. Busso and as a visiting PhD student, which was amazing experiences. I also teamed up with Professor Hong Li on a cool open source project called Open Emotion, and we proposed the IEMOCAP. It's the first benchmark for recognizing multiple emotion in speech at once. Plus, I have interned at places like Amazon Alexa and Yola in the US, and Realtek and ITRI companies in Taiwan, which gave me some real-world insight into speech tech. So now let's jump into what this paper is all about. Okay, so let's start with the best question. What is emotion perception? Simply put, it's how we pick out emotion from this around us, like someone's voice. For instance, when you hear a sentence from your friend, it sparks a feeling in you through your sense. And you figure out what they are feeling based on what you have experienced before. In our research, we have zeroed in on speech emotion recognition, which is all about teaching computers to spot emotion in speech, just like we do naturally. So how do we tackle this research? We use the toolkit called the S3SumPILO, which is great for working with the speech data. And we followed the setup from our IEMOCAP benchmark, a standard we developed earlier. For this study, we keep things simple by only using speech as input, no visuals involved. Our systems are built on self-supervised learning models, or SSLMs, which act as the backbone for recognizing emotion in that speech. Now, here's the big question we want to answer. Do the emotional labels we got from combining audio and visuals, like hear a voice and seeing a face, different from the labels we use when we train a system that only rely on speech? Basically, we are asking if the way we experience emotion change how we label them for those SER systems. Let's talk about how we label emotion in speech emotion recognition. And picture we are trying to classify these emotions like happy, sad, and angry. And we ask 5 different people to listen and tell us what they hear. And here are their emotional annotations. Traditionally, researchers pick just one emotion as the right answer. So if two emotion type like neutral and angry, getting equal votes, let toss the data out. But emotion can be complex, right? You might feel both surprised and happy at once. So the researchers start using a soft label here to capture the mix. Instead of forcing one emotion during the training, but they still cannot show actual performance during evaluations. In our study, we went further and used the multi-label approach, letting the system recognize multiple emotions at the same time. But we choose the distributional one based on our previous study and use the threshold to convert the label into the multiple hard better for evaluation. And this way, our emotion recognition system better match how we humans actually feel. So what got us started on this research? We want to find out, does using just the audio or combining audio with visuals give us a better emotional label for training our speech emotion recognition systems? This matters because the quality of those labels can make or break how well our system performs. Here's our hypothesis. We think speech emotion recognition system trained with the label from just the audio, like this waveform on the slide, will do better when tested on the speech alone, compared to the label from both audio and visuals. What does this matter? It helps us figure out the best way to gather emotional label for training. To test this, we use the 14 advanced system or powered by self-supervised learning models, or SLMS, as you can see in this diagram, which predict emotion like this emoji here. For our research, we use the dataset called CREMA-D, which has about 7,500 utterances, packed with the detailed emotional labels. Each utterance was checked by at least 6 people who pick an emotion, like happy or sad, from a list. And we love CREMA-D because it crafts the list label in 3 different unique ways, which I will tell you about next. One of the best things about CREMA-D is how it classes the emotional label. First, there's the voice only, where the people just listen to the audio to provide the emotion. Then, face only, where they only can see face. And finally, audio visual, where they got both sound and visuals. On this slide, we have got example of one speech in the CREMA-D and how it was labeled differently in each condition. And you will see the roles from the annotators, like H for happy or S for sad, plus the label we use for training and testing. It's pretty neat to see how this label change depending on what people hear or see. And we also look at how similar the label are across conditions. Using the metric called concordance correlation coefficient, we find that audiovisual labels are more similar to face only than voice only. This shows visual cues heavily influence emotion judgments. Our 4 research questions are: how do different modalities affect speech emotion recognition system performance? Which modalities labels are most effective? And how consistent are annotators' opinions? And how do different labels impact SER system performance? So in our experiences, we use the 14 self-supervised learning models plus 1 traditional FB bank features. And we evaluate with the macro F1 score and follow IEMOCAP data split for fairness and reproducibility. Let's dive into our first research question. How does the stimulus modality affect the performance of SER systems? To answer this, we explore the 3 modalities. The voice modality uses the voice-only annotation for training and testing SER system. And the face, the modality uses the face-only annotations, focus on visual cues like facial expressions. And the AV modality, or audio-visual, combines both voice and facial data for a richer annotation approach. On the right-hand side of the slide, you will see the table summarizing the macro F1 score of 50 models across these modalities. And the macro F1 score measures how well the model recognizes emotion, and with higher score indicating better performance. For instance, the WFLM model achieved the top score of 0.71 for both voice and AV modalities, but dropped to 64% for face. In contrast, the FB bank struggled across the board. From this data, we uncovered 3 findings. First, different modalities affect SER performance. And the table shows that most models perform better with the voice or AV annotation compared to face only. WFLM 71% for voice versus 64% for face is a clear example. And second, the annotation modality impacts SER accuracy. How we label emotion in training data, whether by voice, face, or both, directly influence how accurate this SER system detect emotion in speech. Third, careful selection of the annotation modality is crucial. Choose the right modality can make or break SER's performance. For instance, AV annotation often boosts score for models like SLSR 1 billion, which hits the 70% with AV compared to 63% with face. So in our research, we find that each modality, audio-visual, audio-only, face-only, offers distinct insight into emotion expression and perception. So for instance, audio-visual data capture both tone and facial cues. To harness these strengths and information, we propose the all-inclusive label set, as shown here. And this label set integrates annotation from all 3 modalities. So you can see by aggregating these, we aim to capture more detailed emotional profile, significantly enhance SER system performance. Based on the result for research question 1, a WebOM-based model demonstrates the best performance across various modalities. As a result, we selected as our primary SER model to investigate research question 2. For this question, we train and test the system using different label sets to evaluate their effectiveness. Our findings show that voice-only labels are highly effective, achieving an average performance 71.2% when both training and testing are conducted with the voice data. Additionally, we propose the all-inclusive dual label set, which performs robustness across the diverse conditions, with average 64.1% in face-only testing and 17.9% in audio-visual testing. These results highlight the strength of voice-only label in unimodal audio scenario and the benefit of the all-inclusive label set for multi-modal applications. And now let's explore the research question 3. What are the inter-rater agreement labels across the different modalities? Our finding highlight 3 key points. First, inter-rater agreement is the lowest in the voice-only modality, with the overall coherence kappa of 0.346, showing that the vocal cues alone make it challenging for rater to agree. And second, human shows how much the higher agreement on happy emotions when they can see the human face, achieving a coherence kappa 0.74 in the face modality. It's a clear evidence that the facial expression boosts the consent for happy emotion. Finally, quite surprisingly, human shows a greater disagreement when identifying the sad emotion. Even with the facial cues, where the coherence kappa drops to 0.298 in the face modality. This suggests the sadness may be harder to consider recognize regardless of the modality. So regarding research question 4, which examines the performance of SER system trained with the label from different modalities, our analysis highlights 2 key findings. First, the old model integrating voice, face, and audiovisual data outperforms the voice model for emotion of sadness and disgust. Second, the old model shows the highest performance score for sadness, disgust, and happiness across the evaluated conditions. In conclusion, we have compared SER system using a different 14 self-supervised learning models. And these systems were trained with the labels from the primary emotion decoders, incorporating both multi-modal stimuli such as audio-visual data and unimodal stimuli such as audio-only data. And our contributions are threefold. First, comparative analysis. We evaluate the performance of SER system trained under diverse annotation conditions, including audio-visual input and test length across various modalities, such as the voice-only scenario, to assess their adaptability and effectiveness. Then, a novel all-inclusive label set. We introduce a new all-inclusive label set that enhance the accuracy of SER system, particularly for face-only and audio-visual testing conditions, offering a robust improvement over traditional annotations. And then finally, our key finding is that our analysis reveals that for audio-only context, label derived from the audio-only data outperform those from audio-visual data, a result that aligns with established benchmark like MSP-PODCAST emotion corpus and underscore the importance of the modality-specific labeling. And thank you for watching our presentation today, and I hope you enjoyed learning about my work on speech emotion recognition system. As a recent graduate passionate about AI and machine learning, I am eager to apply my skill in a full-time role. Please scan the QR code to access the full paper and connect with me on LinkedIn via the right QR code, and you can also find my CV there. I'm open to any cooperation and job opportunities, so feel free to reach out. I would love to discuss how I can contribute to your team. Thank you again for your time.